So it's Mafs, Australia. Season 13, episode 20, The Night of Betrayal.
They actually changed the cover photo for it.
Yeah,
Held it for a minute there too.
very good. Okay,
Alright.
let's do it, but it's not
Juliette
true.
has woken up in a much better mood.
That's
We got
scary.
the dinner party.
I've had a tumultuous relationship with Juliette so far. I've had a lot of fights. She's put me down a lot. She says she doesn't like the big personality side of me and she thinks I'm fake. Juliette walked in and her mood has definitely changed.
I got some behaviour. I'll do it.
Maybe it's just to cover up a bit. I feel like she was sort of buttering me up.
Okie dokie.
Joel's clocked it.
Joel has clocked that Juliette is buttering him up.
Mm.
She's going in for the sting.
She wants it to all look like it's peachy, and then she is going to cut him down.
She's going to unleash on him.
Not nice. Bad form.
Very bad form.
Good that Joel has, he's twigged. Hang on, there's a rat here. Something's not right.
Well, I mean, how could she go from how she was yesterday to how she is today? It doesn't make sense.
Well, how she's been basically since they moved into the apartment. And then she moved out of the apartment. And then how she's still been to then just lob up at the door so they can go to the dinner party together.
Hello, honey.
In the same
Whatever.
car.
It's just.
Yeah, I bought a bottle of beer.
Give it up.
I finally met Gia's daughter,
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
and it was, oh man, it was really good.
She walked out 3 minutes ago.
She just came up, scared me from behind, and then I turned around and just gave her the biggest hug, and it brought a tear to my eye.
Then we've got Scott and Gia, who a couple of days after she left the experiment and strutted her way off into a car and drove away, she introduces him to her daughter.
In the so-called
Yeah.
perfect time.
That doesn't make as much sense as Juliette walking in and being, "Hey, honey,
How's it going?
I'm
Yeah.
home."
Yeah.
Like, just
I
stupid.
missed you.
You just wouldn't introduce your kid to someone you walked out on 2 days earlier. You
That
wouldn't.
doesn't.
No.
That's just like. I'm sorry.
It is
what?
odd.
What now?
That he proclaimed that he's the star of the show.
That's not what he said. Though.
Main character.
No.
Main character syndrome.
They looked to be fine, although they'd heard the rumour that Joel thinks he's a star.
Yeah.
But that's not what Joel said. We heard what Joel said. Joel said that she
can't see.
can't see the star within him.
Yeah.
I mean, like she's dulling his sparkle or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
He didn't mean she can't see that he is the star of the show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Give her the benefit of the doubt, although I don't wish to, but give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she just completely misunderstood it, but she repeated it back to him.
Yeah.
So she didn't misunderstand it.
No.
She's just a nasty piece of work.
Yeah.
Look at myself and go, I'm the problem, I'm the problem, I'm the problem. And then in the end, it becomes too much of I'm the problem and you start depressing yourself.
I feel like though, man, like you should be able to say how you feel, brother. At the end of the day, you're the man of the relationship. Like you need to speak up, say how you feel, bro. Like don't come across weak to your partner.
Let's not take advice from
Yeah,
Tyson.
please don't take this to heart.
Tyson probably needs to not speak his mind so much. He needs to change his views a little bit.
Okay, so we see Rachel and Steve-O. They're sweet. They come in.
Go,
Looking
Steve-O.
good. Everything's sweet, although Tyson did tell Steve-O to cop a feel of himself and man up.
That was not called
And
But who
thankfully-
would take advice from Tyson?
Yeah.
Like who in their right mind would take advice from Tyson?
Yeah, that's right. And thankfully David was there, who was fairly level-headed about it and kind of smoothed it over a bit. Like
I said, no, you were great,
okay,
Steve-O.
just
Yeah.
you be you.
You go at your pace, Mel.
Steve-O. That's right, mate.
Vibe at the cocktail party is good energy.
It's not going on now.
Everyone was getting along.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oi, oi.
Bom, bom, bom.
Until Bec and Danny came in.
How is everyone? Could feel the energy shift in the room when Bec and Danny walked in.
And then we saw Bec and Danny, which the reception was rather frosty.
Yep.
And Gia and Bec didn't acknowledge each other.
Which is potentially best case scenario.
Yep.
Yep.
He put that smile on.
Look at you stunners.
Joel and Juliette.
No
Very
holding hands there
separate.
at
Oh my
all.
God. And she ran.
She ran.
She ran, literally skipped and jumped and ran away
So then we see Juliette and Joel enter.
And
together.
Juliette, while she was in the apartment, she was all, oh, you know, let's have fun, isn't it wonderful, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
As soon as they got out of that car, you could see she was sprinting for the door because she had a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just see it in her.
Yeah.
And you could see the confusion in him. But
Yeah.
you could tell when he was talking to Alyssa and Stella? Yeah, Alyssa and Stella. That he was just like, nope, never said that. Never said I was the star.
Yeah.
Someone's making stuff up.
Yeah. And clearly there was more to that conversation.
I apologise to you again.
That's okay, Jack. I apologise to you too.
Cheers.
Okay, how do we feel about Bec's little apology vibe there?
We know from family and friends event that Dad basically gave her a toweling down. We heard the, you were raised better than that. We did not raise you like this.
Yeah. And I mean, at the
And-
commitment ceremony, Mel ripped her one.
That's right.
Right, so there's
And
that.
No doubt. And Danny has had to say, well,
Do
look,
that again and I'm out.
pulling away.
Yeah.
This is just, you know, this is, oof.
So we might have heard that apparently back in Adelaide you were digging up some stuff about Alyssa.
Now, this bit about gathering up information on Alyssa, though. Now, Bec is insistent that she did not do that. Amanda doesn't believe Bec. And there's a big part of me that doesn't believe Bec, but I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she spoke poorly about Alyssa, and maybe she was asking her friends what they thought, and that came across a certain way, and then that's fed back. And, you know, it's third-party information, if not fourth-party information. You don't really know. So...
You don't, but if someone who...
Oh, she was horrible last week, and she's probably still horrible.
Yeah.
But I want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
They're in the same city.
They are. And it's Adelaide.
And they're in each other's orbit through mutual friends. But that's it.
Yeah. Just say we trust Bec in this one.
Yeah.
Just say. If Bec's friends are trying to get a bit of information to give to Bec, and Alyssa's friends are hearing them do that, that would come across as, why would they do that if Bec didn't ask them to? Right. And that's the level of benefit of the doubt I want to give to Bec. Sometimes you get lumped into a bad place because of something your friends have done.
David and Alyssa are right to be wary.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, listened, weren't rude, accepted what she said. It would have been very hard for Bec to do that, especially with Alyssa and David.
So,
Yeah.
they just told me that they tried to like confront you about that one line, about saying that like
Which one? Which line?
that you think you're the star here.
I never
Did you
said
say
that.
that you're the
I've
main
never
star?
said
Say that to me.
I've never said that.
She's skewed his statements to make them as bad as possible.
Yeah.
And I think
Gia got in her ear. I think her little bestie thing that she's got going on with Gia just doesn't like Joel. She just doesn't like Joel. He's too much. He has the potential to take up too much of the airtime energy. She is playing Juliette like an instrument, even though we know that Gia doesn't know how to play an instrument. But she is playing her like a finely tuned precision instrument, and Juliette is just
loving it.
and she doesn't realize that's what is happening.
She's torching her reputation outside of the show.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's interesting that, you remember what I said about Danny and this thing about, you know, he'd prefer to be going out with Gia thing. And I said that Brooke and Gia will have gotten enough words that they can put the words together into that statement.
Yeah, a good old word salad.
That's exactly, it appears, what Juliette is doing with Joel. He was talking about himself and he said the word star in the same statement. And so she's used those two bits that he's talking about himself and used the word star.
Yeah.
Right. And made that into a whole different statement.
Yep.
That I think she probably believes it now. The thing is, you'll pass a lie detector test if you believe it.
Yep.
Right? It's not a lie. As soon as you believe it, it's not a lie.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it becomes a different thing.
Like deadpan me in the eyes and said, and you know, if you were honest about this, I wouldn't have to say it like this, by the way.
Just say it. Tell them.
And said, well, I'm the star. And I, at that point, was like,
I literally vomited in my mouth. Like, I would, oh, God, that is just so unlike me to say something like that. That's just absolute nonsense.
That was intense. That was really intense.
It was intense, but it was cartoon intense.
It was. It was very performative.
It was very performative. Interesting choice of words. Was Joel performative?
I don't
No.
think so.
No, Joel was just being Joel.
Got a little bit of a... Okay, it's a lukewarm take. Not quite a hot take. But every dinner party we get drama.
Yeah.
And there's one person who's a part of that drama every single time. And that is Gia.
Yep.
So when Gia was palling around with Brooke, Brooke was the huge drama.
Yeah.
When she was palling around with Bec, Bec was the huge drama. Gia was palling around with Juliette, and now Juliette's the big drama. The only person who knew about this and started the rumour getting around was Gia.
That's right.
Drama with Danny, right, was based with Gia and Brooke. I've got a feeling that Gia's got this way that she does things. And that is to snatch little words here and there, piece them together. I've said this before.
It's like a ransom note.
Yeah, like a ransom note, all made out of little bits of text.
Yep.
And then she gives that back to the person and says, "Use this on a platter."
Yeah.
They go into the dinner party and they just destroy themselves.
Yeah.
I'm like trying so hard. And that's what he doesn't think. He doesn't think I'm trying at all. And I'm like, babe, me being here is trying. And the other thing is he likes to cuddle up with his teddy bear at the end of the night. What the babe? He wants to sleep with the teddy bear and I'll give him kisses with the teddy bear. I feel like I'm a very accepting, chill wife.
If I'm bringing a man home with a teddy to my family, they're gonna go, who the is this loser?
No, that's actually
I'm not married to a man, is what we're trying to say. I'm not married to a man.
Do you know how not okay that is? Black holes in the heart. I mean, honestly, what? Okay.
Okay, Chase,
That's that. I'm done.
You're there, man. You couldn't.
Nicely done, buddy.
We couldn't get any more of that in
Did you
the
get it
edit.
off your chest, sweetheart? Yeah? Take a
Is
few
it-
deep breaths.
It didn't. I was just going to say that, like Danny said, it's actually someone would have to be very, very strong within themselves to take a Teddy on the show, even as a bit of a bit.
Yeah.
But if you just break it down, but what is Teddy really? He's a beloved childhood artifact that he's brought in and offered it up as a piece of him. I mean, I think the odds, there might have been jokes about him being tucked into bed with Teddy.
Yeah.
Right. Joel's obviously comfortable being a bit of a goof.
Yep.
Right. But
Yep, he leans into it.
But the real story is that it's, like I say, a beloved childhood artifact, something that has been with him probably his entire life.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
And it's not the manliest thing in the world. There's no doubt about that. But hey, go easy. He
Yeah.
seems to be actually quite a nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say, there's been lots of gals over the years who've bought a teddy or a toy. They've brought them along, and never in a million years has anyone ever bagged them out, run them down, towed them down, tried to humiliate them.
Question their gender.
Yeah, question them, and then basically, then just be straight up mean.
We questioned the idea of a psychologist mother.
Yeah.
Right, bringing someone up and where that can lead to. But in this case, hands up.
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe not a great thing for Joel because of the way, maybe too open. But the way he's handled himself tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Green flag.
Like he's
Green
kept
flag for Joel's mum.
He's kept a level head. He hasn't reacted. He hasn't gone below the belt. He hasn't met her on going below the belt, or any of the rest of them for that matter. He's had everybody laughing at him. Do you know what I mean? He's had everybody doing the, oh, you think you're the star of the show. He's had to diplomatically defend himself and say, I just didn't say that. I didn't say it.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with the teddy. What I have a problem is with Joel, for sure. I actually like the teddy more than I like Joel.
Because the teddy doesn't joke around.
Yeah, the teddy is not to me like Joel is.
Yep, she just dropped the C-bomb.
Everything you said tonight is so phony, by the way. You have so much.
No, but don't
You
need
get
to-
yourself out of the hole.
You don't need to attack
Yeah,
Juliette.
You have
Juliette,
You give it, yeah.
Juliette, stop. We're not here to attack each other. What I saw tonight was Joel couldn't actually get a word in. Juliette would just step in and close him off, and I feel like he's got no voice.
It is a he said, she said.
Yep.
Okay. But literally everyone believes what he said. I know that we want them to bring up the clip so there's like definitive proof, but it is obvious that he is in the right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad for once in Mafs history, because they don't usually do this, that everyone has actually picked up on that fact.
I think it would be hard not to pick up on it.
I know, but like it feels like every season of Mafs, there
Oh,
is
yeah.
like 5 people who are clearly in the wrong, and the experts go, I just don't believe it, and it's obvious. I'm
Yep.
glad that this season, that they are pointing out the
Well,
obvious bad people.
The villains are so villainous.
In your face?
They're
Yeah.
just
They're
so
so bad
transparent.
and so bad.
They're so transparent. Like, you could get a 2-year-old sitting there watching cartoons, and they can pick out who's the villain, who's the baddie.
It is
Yep.
a cartoony season of Mafs.
It is a very cartoony season of
It's just so transparent. You're like, what? Yeah.
And it's Gia. Usually, Scott is the puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gia's right behind,
G is an instant.
running
yeah.
Scott. Today was the first time ever that
Yeah.
Scott was trying to stop the puppet that Gia was puppeteering.
Yeah, the first
This
night
is a
of
this is a
Mafs
first. This is a big thing.
Yeah.
that he has a spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we all sat here just going, sorry, Scott he's
Is
found
it
a
the
voice?
Same Scott?
Is it what happened here?
Actually, you know what? It might actually be that he's seen a different side to Gia when she buzzed off.
Yeah, it could have been actually.
Maybe that's broken the spell to some extent.
No, but then she brought in Bub.
Yeah, no. But still, that bringing bringing the child in and introducing and all that sort of stuff. That's all great and wonderful, but she still left him.
And I don't think the hot bod and the great bedroom antics that they have is going to cut it anymore. And I think that's why she introduced daughter into that situation. I get the feeling that the daughter has just been used as a scapegoat. And
Well-
she's going to throw that back because you know what she's going to do?
I introduced you to my daughter.
And
Yeah.
you're going to ruin this and you're going to break her and you're going to break me and you said you were there for us. That's what she did.
It's the sign of
Gia,
a-
we have called you out, love.
It's a sign of a master manipulator.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And it's also the sign of a ruthless manipulator. To bring your own child in to be able to use that as a play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was an explosive episode of Mafs for Mafs, but just a regular episode of this season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
Good assessment.
just another one.
It was. Anyway, to all our new subscribers, thank you! And our existing subscribers, we love you. Loving the comments, thank you. Please keep dropping them. We love the comments. Like it, share it with someone you don't like. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.